Hello everyone, welcome to Pepcoding. In this video, we will look at the question carpooling. Okay, so in this question, you're given let's say a car, right? You're given a car like this, and this car moves only in the east direction, right? This car moves only in the east direction, and and you're saying that this car picks up some passengers from some point and drops off some passengers at some point, right? So this car will move, right? This car will move from here, let's say, right? It will pick up some passengers, and then it will go forward and it will drop off some passengers. Then from here it will pick up some passengers, then it will drop off some passengers, right? So it is doing something like this. Okay, so it is performing carpooling, right? Carpooling is when someone shares a ride, and it is doing the same thing, right? So you're given some information in terms of coordinates. Let's take the sample input to see what the question is actually saying, right? You're saying it is saying that we have some trips, right? We have this car, and this car is going to make some trips, and this trip is only going to be in the east direction, right? The car will only move in east direction. So it says that we have a trip, this trip array, right? So this trips array will contain some information, and what is that information? We have this 152, right? We have this 481, and we have this 11, 15, and 3. Now what is this? This one will represent my pickup location, pickup location, right? This 5 will represent my drop off location, and this 2 will represent my passenger count, right? So it means that we will pick up two passengers from this one point, and we will drop off we will drop off those two passengers at 5 point. Okay, so if we were to draw them on the number line, right, let's say this is my highway, and we picked up two passengers. So we picked up two passengers from here, right? Two passengers, let's just call them two passengers, right? And we picked up two passengers from here, and we dropped off these two passengers at fifth point, right? At this 5. So we dropped off two passengers. Now it is saying that we picked up one passengers from 8, right? So I picked up one passenger at 8, and I dropped off that one passenger. I picked up one passenger at 4, and I dropped off that one passenger at 8, right? So and we also have 11 and 15, right? So I picked up three passengers at 11, right? Three passengers at 11, and I dropped them on 15, right? So let's say this is my car, right? This is my car, and this car will move in east direction, right? I have this car. Now this car here, from here, it has the capacity of three passengers only. So it has three seats. One, two, let's make them from different color. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. These are my three seats of the car, right? So this car will travel from this one, and this will go on this highway in the east direction, right? Like this. So when we are at this point, when we are at 1, we pick up two passengers, right? We pick up two passengers. It means that I've picked up two passengers like this, right? Now after picking up two passengers, after picking up these two passengers, after picking up let's draw them like this, right? Okay, so I've picked up two passengers here, and I say that I will travel in the same direction, right? So I'm traveling in the same direction. Now at 4, I'm at this 4 position. I also pick up one more passenger, right? So I pick up one more passenger here, right? I've picked up one more passenger and my car is still traveling forward, right? My car will still travel forward. So it is going to travel forward. But when I'm at 5, I drop off two passengers, right? When I'm at 5, I drop off two passengers. Okay. So after dropping off two passengers, I get uh I have this car with only one passenger left, right? I drop two passengers off at 5, then I move my car forward, then I drop off this one passenger as well. So I drop off this one passenger as well, right? After this, after this, my car is moving and I have a space of three passengers left, right? When I'm at 11, I pick up three passengers. I pick up three passengers, right? And after picking up three passengers, I move forward, I move forward, I move forward, and I drop off these three passengers at 15, right? So I drop off three passengers at 15, right? So at any moment, was there a point where I had to, there wasn't a point at any moment that I had more number of passengers than my passenger capacity, right? Every time I had three seats available, and every time it was either full or it was half full, right? We were never out of passenger seats. Every time I had valid number of passengers in my car. There was never a excess of passengers. So it means that I've completed the trip fine, and I don't need any extra space, right? Or my passengers were not greater than my passenger capacity when I was making all those trips. So it means that this is a valid case, right? This is a valid, all these trips, all these three trips, 152, 481, and 11, 15, and 3, these are my valid trips. So I will return yes in this case. Okay, this is what my question is asking. It is asking that if return yes or print yes if this is a valid trip or not. And how will we find if it is a valid trip or not? If the passenger count increases my passenger capacity, right? At any moment, if my passenger count increases my uh, is greater than my passenger capacity, then I can say that it is not a valid count, right? It is not a valid trip. So this was my first example case, right? We can also take another example case. So let's take the other three example cases. Okay. So for these three example cases, let's see. Okay. So the first trip is saying that I have five passengers, right? And I take these five passengers at 5. I pick up five passengers at one, and I drop off these five passengers at 3, right? So pick up five passengers at I pick up five passengers at 1, and I drop off these five passengers at 3. But my passenger capacity, that my car that I have, only has four seats, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? It only has four seats, so it cannot pick up five passengers, right? So for this is not a valid case because I have five passengers and I only have four seats available. So I will return no for this case, that I cannot have any trips in this case because this passenger count is exceeding my passenger capacity, right? If we have this trip, we have an empty trip, right? It means that I don't have to pick someone, right? My car doesn't have to pick someone else. So it will just travel in the forward direction, right? It does not have to worry about picking anyone. So this is also a valid trip. This is also a valid trip because I don't have to pick someone. Now let's take this example 152, 482, and 11, 15, 3, right? So I pick up two passengers at 1, right? And I drop off two passengers at 5, right? Pick up two, drop two. Now I pick up two passengers at 4, pick up two passengers at 4, and drop off two passengers at 8, right? Now I pick up 3 passengers at 11 and I drop off these 3 passengers at 15. Right, three passengers. I pick up 3 passengers at 11 and drop off 3 passengers at 15. Now my passenger capacity is 3. Passenger capacity is 3. Now let's see. I'm going here. Right, I have 2 passengers here at this point. Let's say at this moment I have 2 passengers in my car. Right, when I encounter this case, I would have to pick 2 more passengers. Right, so my passenger capacity is 3. Right, I've used 2 so far, and when I'm at this 4, I have to pick 2 more passengers. So can I fit 2 more passengers in only one seat? Right, I had 3 passengers seat. I picked up 2 people, so I had only one seat left, and 2 more people are going to come at 4. Right, so can I pick them up? No, right, this will not be a valid trip because I don't have that many seats left. So I will run no for this case because I don't have any more seats left. Okay, so I hope you understand the question. Now let's try to discuss the approach for this question, like how we are going to solve this question. Okay, so first, let's write the let's make the grid, okay, of the trips. We have 152, we have 481, and we have 11, 15, and 3. Right, and here it is representing my pickup location, this is representing my drop off location, and this is representing my passenger count. Right, and my passenger capacity is 3. Right, my passenger capacity is 3 for this case. I'm talking about the first example. Right, so now these are my trips. These are my trip 1, this is my trip 2, this is my trip 3. Okay, so what is going to be the approach for this question, how we are going to solve this question? Okay, so let's see. For this question, we will make a array, right, and we will make a array of the size of the last trip. Right, we will make a array like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so if I mark them, I will get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Right, I'll make a array like this, and mark all these I'll mark every number, or I'll say that this 0 is representing this 0 on the highway. Right, something like this. So this one will represent this one on this highway. Right, so it is saying that my first trip is from 1 to 5. Right, my first trip is from 1 to 5, and I pick up 2 people, and I drop off 2 people. Right, so at the first position, I'm going to pick up 2 people, so I'm going to put 2 in my array, right, or in my vector. I'm going to put 2 in my vector. Then at 5, I'm going to put -2. Right, I'm going to put -2 here. Okay, we are discussing the what and how of this question. Now we'll discuss the why it is happening. Right, okay, so I pick up 2 people at 1 and I drop off 2 people at 5. Right, so I write 1 here, at 1 I write 2, at 5 I write -2. Right, now the next trip is from 4 to 8. Okay, so 4 to 8, I pick up 1 people and I drop off this one person. Right, so at 4 I will put 1, and at 8 I will put -1. Okay, the next thing is, the next third trip is from 11 to 15. Right, and I pick up 3 people and I drop off 3 people. So at 11 I'm going to put 3, and at 15 I'm going to put -3. Okay, this is going to be my array or vector. Right, and every other location I will have 0. The default value is going to be 0. Right, okay, so now after this, after I have this array, My next step is going to be that I'm going to take the prefix sum. Now, what is prefix sum? Prefix sum is, let's remove this. The prefix sum will be that I'll add every number, add every number on this array, right? And it will, the prefix sum will be the sum of my current value and the previous value, right? So let's make an array again. Okay, here, here, here. Okay, so this is this array only. I'm going to make the changes here, right? This is not a new array. I'm just making the changes in the old array itself, but I'm reflecting them on this array, so you can see what is actually happening. Okay, so uh, what let's write the steps as well. What was my first step? My first step was to put uh, one, or put passenger count at starting pickup location, and minus passenger count at drop off location, right? This was my first step. And my second step is going to be find prefix sum array, or find prefix sum, right? So what is prefix sum? I will traverse this array, I will traverse this vector, and I will find the sum of my current element with the previous element, right? So I know that the last strip was still 15, right? I know that the last strip was still 15, so I made an array from size of 0 to 15, right, which is of 16 size. Then I will add every number with its previous number. So 0 will go as it is, 2 will be 2 plus 0, which will give me 2. Now this 2, at this 2 I will add my current number, which is 0, with this previous sum, right? This previous will give me this 2. Okay, this 2 will add up with this number, and this will give me 2 here. Similarly, this 2 will add up with 0, it will give me 2. This 2 will add up with 1, it will give me 3. This 3 will add up with minus 2, it will give me 1. This 1 will add up with 0, it will give me 1. This 1 will add up with 0, it will give me 1. 1 and minus 1 will give me 0. 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 0, 0. 0 and 3, 3. 3 and 0, 3. 3 and 0, 3. 3 and 0, 3. 3 and minus 3, 0. Right? So after traversing like this, after traversing like this in this direction, in the east direction, I've got an array which has prefix sum, right? The sum of my current element with my previous element, right? And my previous element was starting from 0, and I found the sum of every element by adding myself to the previous element, right? So this is what we were doing. We were doing something like this, right? This was my operation. Okay, so after I've got this prefix sum array, you can see what the impact of this means, right? What the impact of this is actually, like what we are actually doing. So this is the why of this question, right? What now we are talking about the why of this question. From here to here, I had two passengers in my car, right? Or let's say from here to here only. From here to here, I had two passengers in my car, right? After this point, I picked up one more passenger. So I had three people in my car, right? But I dropped off two people at this five, right? So I can say that the uh, let's write the ranges first. How many people were in my car in what ranges? So from 2 to 4, I had two people in my car, right? So from 4 to 5, I had three people in my car, right? From 5 to 8, I had only one person in my car, right? And from 11 to 15, I had three people in my car, right? This is something like this. So this is my ranges, and this is what this prefix sum array is trying to do. The first thing that we did was we put 2 here and minus 2 here, right? We were putting 2 here and minus 2 here. Like, what does this mean actually? Why are we doing this? Right? Why did we do this and why did we find the prefix sum array? Okay, so let's see. When I put 2 here, if I find the prefix sum array now, it will be 0, 2, right? 2 will add up with 0, it will give me 2. 2 will add up with 0, it will give me 2. 2 will add up with 1, it will give me 3, right? But let's say it was just 0 only. We only put, I'm talking about this array, right? So let's make a copy of this array. Okay, so if I erase this or erase this, I only have one trip, right? I'm only talking about this one trip of this 2, right? So I have 0, 0, 0 at every place except these 2 points, except the first trip, right? So from this trip to this trip, if I make the prefix sum array, what will be my prefix sum array, right? It will be 0 plus 2, right? 2 here. 2 plus 0, we will have 2 or 2 here, right? Then 2 plus 0, again 2, right? 2 plus 0, 2. Now, 2 plus minus 2 will give me, 2 plus minus 2 will give me, right? 2 plus 2, 2 plus minus 2 will give me 0, right? So you can see that at this moment, my impact only lasted from 1 to 4. After 5, I dropped off 2 people. This 5, this minus 2 here is representing that the impact of 2, or how many people were actually in my car, was starting from 1, right? And this went on till 4, and after that I dropped off 2 people. So this 2 will reduce the impact, or it will say that I've dropped off 2 people from my car. So it is saying that by reducing the impact of 2 at this moment, right? The impact of 2 lasted till 4 only. After that, there weren't those 2 people in my car anymore, right? So I dropped them off at 4. This is what we are actually doing, right? So from this moment, when you find the prefix sum array, this minus 2 will take the impact of 2 and it will only reduce the impact of 2 from this point to this point only, right? Then those 2 passengers will only last from this point to this point in the car, right? They will only sit from 1 to 4 in the car, because at 5 they will be dropped off, right? So this is what this minus 2 actually means. It means that I am signifying that I'm dropping off 2 people, right? So when I make the prefix sum array, the impact of those 2 people will be gone, right? So at this moment, you can see that from here to here, I have 2 people in my car, right? From after this, I have 3 people in my car. And after dropping off 2 people, I have only 1 person in my car, right? At this moment, I only have 1 person. At this moment, I only have 1 person. Then I drop off that 1 person as well. So I don't have any people in my car left, right? After that, I pick up 3 people and I drop off 3 people at here, right? So from this moment to this moment, from this moment to this moment, from this moment to this moment, I have people in my car. And none of those moments, right? If I traverse this array, you can see that at any moment, is there a moment where I have more people than my passenger capacity? My passenger capacity is 3, right? My passenger capacity is 3. But at any moment, do I have a point But at any moment, do I have a point where my passenger count is increasing my passenger capacity? No, right? It is less than or equal to my passenger capacity. So it means that if I find any number, if I find any number in this prefix sum array which is greater than my passenger capacity, then I can simply say that no, you cannot fit that many people uh, in my car, because my passenger capacity is less than the number of people that you want to fit in my car, right? So this is representing how many people are present. This prefix sum array here is representing how many people are present in my carry at that in my car at that moment, right? So I hope you understand this approach. Now let's try to code this. Okay, so cool. So the first thing is we need our last drop off location, right? Because we need to make our array of till the last drop off location. So let's make a last drop off location, drop location, and this will be -1, right? Let's initialize it with -1. Then we'll run a for loop on our trip, right? Trips, and we will find our last drop location, which will be math.max of last drop location, comma, trip of 1, right? Because at 1 I have because at 1 I have the ending point, right? Or the drop off location. So trip of 0 contains my starting position, trip of 1 contains my ending position, and trip of 2 contains my passenger count, right? So int highway is equals to new int last drop location plus 1, right? Now for int trip of trips, right? This is of array type, right? After this, I need to make the I need to put the value of that passenger count at a position at the starting position and the negative of that passenger count at the ending position, right? So highway trip of 0 is at or plus equals to trip of 2, right? And similarly highway trip of 1 is equals to minus equals to trip of 2, right? Now for int I is equals to 1, I is less than equals to last drop location I plus plus, right? Highway of I plus 1, or I is now I need to make the prefix sum array, right? So highway plus highway of I will be highway of uh, I minus 1, right? So highway I minus 1. Now after this, after getting the prefix sum array, at any point if I get a value which is greater than my capacity, right? If I get a value which is greater than my capacity, then I can simply return false from there. And else, if I don't get a value, then I can simply return true, right? So this is my code, right? Now let's try to run this. It is successful. Let's submit this code. It's passing all the test cases. So I hope you understand this question. If you don't, I would suggest rewatch the part which you don't understand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.